Mga tol, kumusta? Panoorin nyo kung paano birahin ng babaeng ito ang mga politiko na harap-harapan tayong inaalisan ng karapatan at kalayaan na minana pa natin sa Diyos na siyang nagbigay sa atin ng buhay at kalayaan. Mamili kung ano ang gusto natin sa ating buhay. Panoorin nyo hanggang dulo at huwag kalimutang
Hoy, 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 hoy. Bumising ka na Pinoy. Hoy, 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 hoy.
Face right now in this country, where we have Democrat elites in positions of great power who don't believe in freedom. They don't believe in freedom of speech, freedom of thought, freedom of religion. They don't believe that every one of us has this intrinsic right to speak freely, to express ourselves without fear of retribution or retaliation. This is not because they're telling us this, but because of their actions. They have no qualms about censoring our speech. And they do this in the name of protecting us from harmful speech that they label as misinformation or disinformation or hate speech. But really, it's just speech that they don't like, or speech that threatens their power. And they're working hand in glove with their friends in big tech and the propaganda media to do this. They have no qualms about getting rid of our Second Amendment. They forget the reason that our founders chose to pass the Second Amendment right after the First. Not only to protect our right to defend ourselves and our loved ones, but to make sure that there is this check on the power of a tyrannical government that may seek to take away our God-given freedoms. Most importantly, they have rejected the fact that our freedom comes from God, not the government, not any individual. So it makes sense then, knowing that they reject this truth, that they are so hostile towards people of faith and spirituality. It makes sense then why they are trying to remove God, any mention of God, from every facet of public life. We see then why they are choosing to specifically target Christians in this country, attacking and even arresting peaceful pro-life protesters. And when you have people like Amy Coney Barrett coming before the U.S. Senate for confirmation, openly questioning and saying, "I'm concerned about the dogma that lives within you," says Senator Feinstein. Completely rejecting the statement in the Constitution that says there will be no religious test. Their most recent sights are set on Catholics who they deem as radical traditional Catholics. Why? Because they choose a traditional Latin Mass. They feel they're such a threat that they have to place covert assets within the church during times of worship to surveil these radical traditional Catholics. Thomas Jefferson said, "God who gave us liberty, can the liberties of a nation be secure when we have removed a conviction that these liberties are the gift of God?" We cannot. To recognize each other as children of God is to appreciate that every one of us belongs to God and no one else. And as such, no government or no individual has any right or authority to try to take away our God-given freedoms. So any political party that is trying to erase the presence of God in public life and is hostile towards those who choose to worship God and have a relationship with God cannot be trusted to protect these inalienable rights that come from God, and as such should not be in power.